Let's take a look at a single day in the life of a nation. We're talking about India, and the day is August 14th, the day right before its Independence Day. So what can a 24-hour snapshot like that really tell us? We're asking a pretty big question here. What does a country actually look like in one single day? You'd think it's a day for reflection, right? But as we're about to see, it's also a day of incredible pressure, of deep, deep sorrow, and believe it or not, some really unexpected joy, all happening at the exact same time. So, first up, let's look outwards at India's place on the world stage. And what you see is this, well, it's a really delicate and complicated balancing act, shaped by some serious economic headwinds and these shifting global alliances. And that pressure, it starts with one single number, $27 billion. That's the trade deficit for just 1 month, for July. And look, this isn't just some number on a spreadsheet. It's an 8-month high hitting right as U.S. tariffs are climbing. This is the economic backdrop for some very, very high-stakes diplomacy. And right here, you can really see that diplomatic tightrope in action. So on one hand, you've got this cautious effort to mend fences with China. They're resuming flights, opening up border trade. On the other hand, there's the U.S. relationship, which is strained by tariffs, but somehow steady enough for arms deals to go through. And then at the very same moment, there's a sharp, forceful warning to its neighbor, Pakistan. I mean, 3 major powers, 3 totally different approaches, all at once. Let's just pause on the language here for a second. Painful consequences. Yeah, this is not your typical diplomatic fluff. This is a direct, strong warning from India's Ministry of External Affairs. They're basically accusing Pakistan of stirring the pot with hateful rhetoric to distract from its own problems. You can just feel the tension in those words. Okay, and now we're going to turn from the global stage to the mountains of Kashmir. And here, well, the tone is about to shift dramatically. A truly heartbreaking story was unfolding. A sudden, violent cloudburst triggered these catastrophic flash floods, and the human cost is just staggering. The first numbers that came in confirmed it. 56 people dead. But, it didn't stop there. The scale of this disaster just kept growing. On top of the fatalities, more than 300 people were injured as these torrents of water and mud just tore through the region. And then you have what is maybe the most gut-wrenching number of all. Over 250 people are still missing. Rescue operations are underway, but there's this heavy, heavy cloud of uncertainty. And because of this tragedy, all cultural events for Independence Day in the area were canceled. A day meant for celebration, now marked by mourning. But even as that sorrow hangs in the air, a completely different story is taking shape somewhere else. From the tragedy in the mountains, we go to this incredibly powerful story of hope that's emerging from the nation's heartland. And the whole story hinges on this one number, 14. For decades, these 14 villages in the Bastar region have lived under the shadow of Maoist conflict. They just couldn't participate in national celebrations. But this year, for the very first time, they're going to hoist the Indian flag on Independence Day. Just try to imagine that feeling, right? For the kids and young people in this region who've only ever known conflict, they're now buzzing with excitement, getting ready for a celebration. It's just a profound symbol of peace, a real testament to changing times. So from the monumental, let's zoom in to the civic. Because, a nation isn't just defined by these big, sweeping stories. It's also defined by the everyday debates it has with itself, the kinds of issues that play out in its courts and its communities. Take this case, for instance, which is before the Supreme Court. On one side, you have a government order to permanently relocate stray dogs from the capital region. But on the other, the court is pushing back. It's calling out failures in animal birth control programs and is urging for a more humane, balanced solution. It's a perfect snapshot of a modern society figuring out how to coexist. And what about the economy for the average person? Well, the stock market tells a similar story of complexity. The overall mood is pretty optimistic. Futures are trading higher, but when you dig in, you see a more mixed bag. You've got clear winners like Bharat Petroleum, but then you've got others like United Spirits that are missing their targets. It's a picture of resilience, sure, but with a definite undercurrent of, let's call it volatility. So we come all the way back to our first question. What does a nation look like on the eve of its independence? Well, it looks like this. It's a day of crisis and celebration, of geopolitical chess games and immense natural tragedy, of historic firsts and really complex daily debates. On the dawn of a new year of freedom,
all of these things, the sorrow, the hope, the pressure, the progress, they're all woven together. And it leaves us with one final thought. Facing all of this, which path will India choose?